Hello everyone, this is Angel Esquivel here. Welcome back to another movie review, and today we're going to be reviewing Undertone, A24's newest horror film, directed by Ian Tewison and starring Nina Curie. Sorry, had to write these things down. So without further ado, let's get to the review. So the movie is about our main character named Evie, who stays at home taking care of her ill mom, while at her spare time, she owns a podcast called the Undertone Podcast, where they talk about all things creepy, while her best friend one day gets these anonymous messages, anonymous recordings, and each night they started listening to these audio tapes, and as they started listening more and more every night, they realized that something strange starts happening during where they live. And oh boy, I gotta tell you, this is gotta be the scariest film I've actually seen in a long while. So scary. I'm actually glad that I actually brought this with me. And normally I bring this every Saturday, but finally I was able to use it as my stress thing. I have never felt this level of terror in a long while. I think the only time I've ever felt because luckily there was an empty seat on my left side, so I was able to get the space. Just me doing this, normally I would never do this in a horror when I'm watching a horror movie, but boy, I've never felt that in a while, and normally I don't It's been a while as a kid since I watched horror films in the theater and just do this, but that one made me also do this sometimes. I think the last time I've ever done that, to cover my ears, is when I watched the Conjuring 2. The only time in my life I've ever been scared watching a scary horror film was the Blair Witch Project, the Strangers, Grudge 2, the first Conjuring, and the first two Paranormal Activity movies. Other than that, ever since I got used to them, and it's rare for me to be scared watching a horror film. And what I like about what this horror movie does, Undertone, is that there's jump scares then and there, but it's mainly just sound, and mainly it builds up the tension. Even the quiet parts are scary. The first beginning part of the movie, it was just the beginning part of the movie, and already you get this sense of dread. In the movie, there's moments, obviously there's times where you have our main protagonist in the side right here, facing this way, she's on her headphones, but when you look at in the dark shadowy parts, you get this sense something sinister is looking at you. For me, I'm always so focused on the shadow part, and mainly it's just even though our main characters right here, but I mainly just look at what's over there in the dark, and I get this sense I don't know about you, but for me, I get this sense that something right there is just staring right back at you. And I love how Ian Tewison literally filmed this movie. I like how, and also what I do like that this movie does is that it's mainly just filmed in one location. It's just kind of like Iron Lung, kind of like those slow burner movies where they just take place in one spot. But I feel like this movie does it better. And personally, it's good that we finally see horror films that are actually scary. And because nowadays we got movies like Finance at Freddy's. In my opinion, the way this movie was filmed, that is how Finance at Freddy's should have been filmed, in my opinion. And I know people are gonna fucking say some shit about me, saying oh, that's some stupid ass take. But I don't care. That's just my opinion. Any complaints? I really have no complaints. This is actually a really good movie, and the performances from mostly the actors are really good. It's mainly just her acting. The other guy who's always on the in the other side, just talking to her, we don't really see how he looks like. Her mom also is just mainly in bed, but the lady Ivy, I think it's Ivy, she does a really good performance. And the ending is really crazy. It turns out like they finally listened to the 10th recording, even though the guy was like, "No, I think we should stop." But she obviously, like in every stupid woman horror movie fashion, she's like, "Oh no, let's listen to it." I guess maybe that's one complaint I have. But I mean, but then again, it's more like it should happen because for the sake of the horror film, they listen to it. They finally open up the door for this demon to like finally haunt all of them, and then towards the end we finally see like a shot of her mom like just floating towards her, and everything cuts to black, and it's now just left us to the audience to wonder like, oh, what happened to her? Did she died, or now is she cursed? Like, has she survived? So we just don't know. But yeah, this is a really good cliffhanger for the horror film. So yeah, A24's newest horror film, like they finally came out with another great movie. A24 is really good at making good movies, horror films, boring movies, but yeah, they're good at it. Ian Tuason. I mean, I heard. Speaking about this director, I'm not really familiar with his filmography other than this one. I'm actually glad that this year we're finally getting like original, like finally like new directors making movies. Like it's like finally for a good start. Like we don't have to have like these big A-list directors. I heard this rumor that he wants to do a Paranormal Activity remake. But I mean, when I heard this, I mean, this was like before I watched the movie. I'm like, I wasn't really like I don't know. I don't think it really needs a remake. But seeing his movie Undertone, I mean, I'm probably open to it. But then again, I'm not gonna have my expectations too high. And Nina Kiri, not then again, I'm not familiar with what movies she's in, but she does a good performance. So overall, really good movie, good writing, good directing, casting. So my rating for this movie, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Best horror film of the year. I know there's more horror movies coming along, but until then, this is probably the best horror film I ever seen. So in conclusion, sometimes not knowing things is probably the right thing, because the truth is, you don't know what's in the other side. Well, that's going to be today's movie review, so make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon up there. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram page, Thunderstruck1810. This is Angel Esquivel here, and as always...
If you get to heaven, write this down, you get to heaven and you don't find me there, you have gone to hell. That's not heaven.